My stepdaughter discovered I had been working night shifts as a security guard for 3 years to pay for her college. But her words cut deep. I feel ashamed to invite you to my graduation because of your job, so I'm inviting my real father instead. When my wife sided with her, I cut them both off and filed for divorce. Hello Reddit I plus here. For 3 years, I worked the graveyard shift as a security guard. 3 years of long, cold nights, aching feet, and keeping an eye on empty office buildings while the rest of the world slept. I did it for one reason and one reason only, so my stepdaughter, Lily, could go to college without drowning in debt. I married her mother, Sarah, when Lily was 10. Her real dad, James, was never around much. He'd pop in for birthdays when it was convenient, take her out for ice cream maybe once or twice a year, and then disappear again. Meanwhile, I was the one who packed her lunches, helped her with her homework, taught her how to ride a bike, and stayed up late when she had a bad dream. I never saw her as anything less than my daughter. When she got accepted into her dream university, I knew we couldn't afford it on my salary alone. My job at the warehouse covered the bills, but tuition? That was a whole other beast. So I picked up a second job. Night shifts. At first, I thought I'd just do it for a semester or two. But tuition, books, dorm fees, food, it all added up. And I didn't want her to worry about money. So I kept going. 3 years of watching security monitors, checking doors, and chasing off the occasional trespasser while my body begged for sleep. I didn't tell Lily. Not because I was hiding it, but because I didn't want her to feel guilty. I was proud to do it. I was proud of her. Then, a month before her graduation, she found out. I came home one morning, exhausted, and Sarah was waiting for me. Lily was standing behind her, arms crossed, eyes full of something I couldn't quite place. Disappointment? Anger? I braced myself for an argument. Maybe she thought I'd lied to her. Maybe she was upset I hadn't told her sooner. But nothing could have prepared me for what she actually said. I feel ashamed to invite you to my graduation because of your job, so I'm inviting my real father instead. My real father. The words hit me like a punch to the gut. I looked at Sarah, expecting her to say something, to scold Lily, to tell her she was being cruel, but she just stood there. She didn't look upset. If anything, she looked guilty. I asked her flat out, "Do you agree with this?" She hesitated. Then she sighed. "She just doesn't want to be embarrassed, honey. You have to understand." But I didn't understand. I worked 2 jobs, gave up sleep, put my health on the line for years. And for what? So she could pretend I didn't exist when it mattered most? So she could replace me with a man who barely knew her? I nodded. I see. I went to the bedroom, packed a bag, and walked out the door. That night, I stayed at a motel. The next morning, I called a lawyer. Sarah was stunned when I told her I wanted a divorce. She called me irrational, overdramatic. She begged me to reconsider. "You're really going to throw away our marriage over one mistake?" she asked. I almost laughed. One mistake. Number. This wasn't just one mistake. This was years of love, sacrifice, and loyalty thrown away like garbage the second I became an inconvenience. Lily was an adult. She made her choice, so I made mine. I didn't go to the graduation. James did. There's a nice picture of them together on social media, smiling for the cameras, him with his arm around her shoulder like he had actually done something, like he deserved to be there. Meanwhile, I was meeting with my lawyer, signing papers, dividing assets, and making sure I walked away with my dignity intact. It's been a year now. I won't lie. At first, it hurt like hell. I spent so long trying to be the best father I could, only to realize I was just a placeholder, a convenience. But you know what? I'm sleeping through the night now. No more 3 a.m. shifts, no more exhaustion, no more pouring my soul into people who don't appreciate it. And Lily? Last I heard, James isn't paying for her grad school. I guess some fathers are only good for photo. A few months after the divorce was finalized, Sarah reached out. First, it was just a text. "Can we talk?" I ignored it. Then came the calls. I ignored those too. Eventually, she showed up at my new apartment, standing at my door like she had the right to be there. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity got the better of me. She looked different, more tired, like life had finally caught up with her. "Lily wants to see you," she said. I leaned against the doorframe, arms crossed. "That's so?" Sarah nodded. She regrets what she said. She was young and stupid, and she didn't realize how much you did for her. I raised an eyebrow. Young and stupid? She was 22, Sarah, not 15. She knew exactly what she was saying. "And you let her say it." Sarah flinched. "I made a mistake." I let out a slow breath, then shook my head. "You made your choice." She swallowed hard, her eyes shining like she wanted to cry. Maybe she did. Maybe she thought a few tears would make me soften. Once upon a time, they might have, but not anymore. Please, she whispered. Just talk to her. I thought about it. I really did. But then I remembered every sleepless night, every hour spent in a dingy security booth, every time I dragged myself home too exhausted to function, all for her. And when it mattered, she didn't care. I met Sarah's eyes. Tell her I wish her the best. Then I shut the door. She stood there for a minute. I could hear her breathing, could almost feel the weight of everything left unsaid pressing against the wood. But eventually, she left. And that was that. A few more months passed. I kept working, but only one job now. I picked up some hobbies, went on a couple of dates, learned how to enjoy life again. Then one day, I got a letter. From Lily. I almost tossed it in the trash without reading it, but something stopped me. It was long. Pages of apologies, explanations, words I had waited too long to hear. She told me how James disappeared again after the graduation, how he stopped answering her calls the moment she needed help. She admitted she had been shallow, selfish, and cruel. I don't deserve your forgiveness, she wrote, but I just wanted you to know I finally see you. I see everything you did for me. And I am so sorry. I sat there for a long time, staring at the letter, thinking. In the end, I didn't write back. Not because I hated her, not because I wanted revenge, but because I had finally learned that sometimes it's okay to walk away.